I was like his PR, his agent, his manager, his chauffeur, his butler, you name it. You know, all those things evolved into one, and we had a bond. It became a bond, and he knew that he could trust me. And I think that's the secret to our relationship is he knew that no matter what it was, he could trust me. There was only two people that he could be open and honest with, really, and that was me and his dad, because he used to give us a right load of stick, you know, and I took that as a compliment, and his dad did as well. He said, listen, he said, he's like that with you because he loves you, you know. And that's, it's just a bond that we had, a special bond. So.
Would it be too much to suggest that you were almost like a second father figure to him for a quarter of a century? Yeah,
I mean, that's embarrassing for me because he only has one dad, and you know, at times it was difficult, but I never wanted to be seen as a father figure, more like an uncle. You know, I'd rather be, you know, Uncle Paul or whatever, you know. But yeah, he could come to me with anything, and he often did.
Something at all times of day and night as well?
Yeah. Oh no, so I was turned up Christmas Day one day because the alarm went off at his house, and he was a bit worried about going inside because nobody else would go in with him. So yeah, in the middle of the night, he lost his keys. Honest to God, anytime.
You were his right-hand man?
Yeah, definitely.
And before you know it, this, you know, it was, you didn't get into this thinking we're going to end up in Vegas, but my word, what a journey it was.
Oh, no. I manage boxers now, and it's every boxer's dream to become a world champion. And you've got to be realistic and say there's only a few actually do become world champions. They can become a British champion, you know, a Commonwealth, a European, or whatever. But to become a world champion, you know, you've got to be pretty special. And so it always had that self-belief that he was going to become a world champion. I remember saying to him, we were going to Telford very early in his career, and I said to him, you know, what are you looking for out of this? He said, I'm going to become a world champion. I said, what are you going to do when you become world champion? He said, that's it. I'm going to become world. I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay in the same area. I'm going to always be the same type of person, but I am going to be a world champion. And he was in bucketfuls.
Of all those big fight nights, what was your favourite night?
I think you've got to say Costa Zoo. I mean, there's some amazing nights. You know, when you think about travelling to America, you know, Boston, when he went and became a two-weight world champion was a big night. When he beat Paulie Malignaggi, no one had stopped him before. Castillo, those big nights. The Costa Zoo night's got to be the best one. It's got to be. I mean, I remember the police were concerned because it was 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, and the reporters got in touch and said, Rick, you know, are you going to change your training technique because obviously you're going to be fighting 2 in the morning? He said, don't worry about it. He said, everybody fights at 2 o'clock in the morning in Manchester.
You guys must have got into some scrapes.
We did.
Anything you could share?
I don't know about that. There's,
what are your favourite memories?
There's so many. I think one of them has got to be when we brought Muhammad Ali to this gym. That was special. It meant a lot to Rick. I mean, he's pretty much everybody's hero, isn't it, Muhammad Ali? Yeah, so that was a big deal for him. It meant an awful lot to him. So there's that, and you know, there was quite. When I think about outside of boxing, he used to enjoy doing the sportsman's dinners. He loved, you know, personal appearances, because he could get amongst his fans. You know, it's hard to explain to people. If you can imagine 22,000 people, or when he fought at Manchester City, 58,000 people, no social media, and he sold out within a matter of hours. You imagine 58,000 people shouting, "There's only one Ricky Hatton," and that was, it was taken away from him when he stopped boxing, and that's a difficult thing to live with. And he was trying to do his best by helping people with charities, and you know, became a successful trainer. He trained every boxer he trained them from like area champion to world champion with Zanet. We went to America with Zanet Zakianov, and he promoted pretty much every weight and every title. He had a world champion in Lucas Brown, heavyweight world champion in Lucas Brown. So he was so successful in the ring as a boxer, and then as a promoter, and then as a trainer. And I don't think you'll struggle to find anybody else who's done that. So those are things to be very proud of.
He was possibly the most accessible celebrity there has ever been.
Yeah.
I think anybody that wanted to meet Ricky Hatton probably got the opportunity to, because the door
Yeah.
was always open.
Yeah.
Extraordinary, that, isn't it?
Well, that was how he was, and he had this aura around him where if he met someone, they would leave him thinking, he's my mate now. And that's a gift. You know, you got to understand from my perspective, there were times when he was doing things and I'm like, Rick, we got to go. Shut up, we got to go. We went once to, he was promoting a show in Wigan, and we came off the motor and he said, I'm desperate for the toilet. You'll be all right. No, you don't understand, I'm desperate. I said, you'll be all right. And eventually we saw this pub. I said, look, just go in the pub, you'll be all right. So I'm sat there waiting, and it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Oh, there's something not right here. So I went inside. He's playing pool. I said, what are you doing? He said, well, the lads asked me if I played pool with them, so I played pool. He said, oh, come on. So it was crazy things like that.
But that was him.
That was him. Well, this kind of like sums up our relationship. I'm sat with my wife watching the telly, and my mobile phone goes, hello? Pizza? I went, no. Have you ordered a pizza? No. No, you got the wrong number, mate. The phone goes again. Pizza? No, I've not ordered a pizza. I'm telling you, I'm not. Bit of a gap. And different number. Phone goes, pizza. I said, mate, someone's taking the mickey out of you. I've not ordered pizza. And just then, a light came on. I said, just a minute. I phoned him up. I said, have you just ordered a pizza? He went, yeah. I said, well, they're outside. I know. He says, yours is the only telephone number I know. So he would give my number. He fast food deliveries, hotels, you name it. He just used my mobile phone. And I'd be looking at all this, and I'm sure my wife's thinking, like, where's he going?
Did he not even know his own number?
He didn't even know his own number. Well, look, emails. You send him an email. It was pointless because he deleted them.
Yeah.
He didn't want to read them. It's like, you sort it out. He was that kind of person. It's just. You know him, Mike. You've been around him a long time. You know him, and he was unique. And times you're at your wit's end with him, and then other times you're having the time of your life. But I feel blessed that he's been part of my life, because I've seen a lot, but I've also learnt a lot through being around him, and I'm blessed that I was part of his life.
I know you're still trying to process it, but you must be devastated, Paul.
Yeah, it's hard, because I was with him on the Friday, and we'd had a long day together because he was getting ready for his fight in Dubai, which he was looking forward to. He said to me, I'm going to smash him and knock him out in 2 rounds, which was typical Ricky. We'd been together all day Friday. There was things on his mind, and we were just talking, as you would do in a car. You travel for an hour or so, you have a conversation about all sorts of things. And then we got back, he said to me, right, so I'm sorry I had a bit of rant at you, because that's how we were. We'd rant at each other. And he said, right, thanks a lot. He said, I'll see you Sunday, because this is Friday. We were supposed to be flying out to Dubai on the Sunday to do a press conference. And I knew he was training Jack Murphy, one of the lads here, and he was fighting on the Saturday. So Rick was going to go to the fight, and then I was going to pick up Sunday. So I know what he's like. So about 6:30, he'd sent me a text, which I'd not seen. About 7 o'clock, he sent me what time he'd pick me up. I said, pick up at 6:30 on the Sunday. And then, obviously, what's happened, and you're right, I'm still trying to process, but it's strange, because we're in the gym, it's his gym, and it's almost, I feel as if he's still here with me. And we're going to make sure that everything goes well for the funeral on Friday. We're hoping that people will turn out for him on Friday. The route's been advertised. It's going to leave from near his home address. It's going to go through Attersley, where he grew up. It's going to go through Denton, where Better Bodies was, past the Manchester Arena, which was his fortress, to the Cathedral. And then on the way back, he's going to go around Manchester City's football ground, you know, and then obviously we go on to the crematorium. So there's still so many things to process, but I think he's going to hit me mostly the day after. Yeah, I miss him.
The people of Hyde absolutely loved him, not just because he was a world champion boxer, but because he was a superstar who never wanted to leave this town.
No, as you know, he was brought up in Hattersley at the New Inn, and then he moved when he got his own. Well, he lived with his mum and dad. He was world champion, living in a little bedroom with his mum and dad and his brother. He bought his own house, his first house, round the corner from mum and dad. You could literally throw a stone from his house to mum and dad's. And then he bought a bigger house, and even though he wanted to move to Tenerife and spend more time in Tenerife, his plan was to downsize from his big house to a smaller house. His local is it's the Ariel Tavern. It's Steve, the landlord. He goes in there regular. He frequents the local pubs, and he is no airs and graces. He just goes and he is who he is. And then this gym, you know, it could have been anywhere, but he chose it to be in Hyde. And you know, Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time, came to Hyde for Ricky Hatton. So I think that speaks volumes of him. I believe that people will remember him. In fact, I saw something, ironically, in a sign around the corner, just around the corner from the gym, and it said, "Ricky Hatton didn't fight for glory or fame or money. He fought for us, because he's one of us." And he was. And there's only one Ricky Hatton. There only ever will be one Ricky Hatton. So his legacy, we're looking at forming a foundation in his memory, and then we hope his legacy will continue to help others in the future.
How will you remember him?
My friend. He's Richard when you're around the family, and he's Rick when he's in the gym. I'm just going to miss him.